3 days ago, I woke up on a Tuesday morning Singapore time complaining that Riftbound had sold out of the merch store and the merch store was overwhelmed. And I told you quite frankly and quite honestly that this is a good thing about Riftbound, and also it shouldn't surprise anyone that Riot's website is just not geared up for handling the traffic. And then also the third thing is that Riot's distribution strategy is probably very much like other card games distribution strategies. What I mean by that is mainly through local game stores, aka LGS, and the allocation to the merch store is small. And that was 3 days ago. Yesterday, as I was perusing Reddit, I saw suddenly that at the European merch store, the English one being based in Great Britain, that there was allocation. So I rapidly jumped in, added some to my shopping cart, and went to check out. I found that VPNing into a European server and I VPN'd into Holland worked. It worked great. My only problem is I don't have an address in Europe to ship it to. I couldn't have it shipped to any place outside of Europe, so even though I had hit the small window of allocation, I just couldn't order it, and that was okay. I chalk it up to experience and that I learned something, but also had fun just chasing it. And that brought me to this morning. So at 9:01 a.m., someone sends me a text message, somebody who knows that I'm into Riftbound, maybe somebody who actually is watching this channel, which means that they are one of like 15, 20 people, reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to split a case? My reaction was, first, wow, I actually have to make a decision? I like to talk about it and pretend like I can't do it, and I feel like just whining about it is just more authentically me, more fun. To say, oh man, I wish I could do it, but I can't. And so I get to virtue signal and make it sound like I'm one of the in crowd with the Riftbound people, but unlucky, etc. And now suddenly somebody's asking me to spend money, and my initial reaction was, not even how much. I'm like, what do you mean by splitting a case? You see, the last time I really bought Magic the Gathering cards was probably 1997, maybe even 1996. So we're talking almost 30 years ago. And back then, I was a college student. So at best, I could buy one box, but just the idea of buying a case was crazy. And I don't remember how much a box was back then, and I don't know how many boxes are in a case. So it was fair to ask how many boxes are in a case, and apparently it's 6. And splitting a case with this person didn't mean splitting it in half. It was splitting it with him and another person. I would be buying 2 boxes, about 300 Singapore dollars a piece. You can do the conversion rate. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. But is it? Because just half an hour before that, I was texting people in China who are Riot colleagues or former colleagues of mine, asking them to pick up a box for me. Instead of having to chase favors in China, I literally have 2 boxes of Riftbound in Chinese dropping into my lap. Yet I'm hesitating. I'm being kind of a whiny little bitch, I think is what they call it. I found myself in a situation where the very things I was complaining about and talking about here on the channel and chasing favors, I didn't have to worry about because Destiny and Fate had dropped 2 boxes into my lap. And here, my human inconsistent self was saying, maybe you shouldn't buy them. Maybe this is a bad idea. And for about 30 seconds, 45 seconds, I thought, yeah, maybe it is. And then I sent a message saying, yes, of course I'll take both boxes. Because when you make a decision for joy, there are lots and lots of ways to rationalize it. But at the end of the day, I miss buying card packs and I miss opening them. But I can't tell anybody that, well, except for you guys. How I justify and rationalize buying card packs is, oh, if I have card packs, they will appreciate. If I have boxes, all I have to do is put them up on my shelf here, and then over time, they will become my children's college tuition fund. Or I will also say, because I'm doing this YouTube video, it's useful to have packs so I can open them up, do those cool videos where younger people just say, hey, look, I got a Charizard, or hey, look, I got a Pot of Greed, or hey, look, I got whatever crazy Magic cards are in packs right now. And then people get excited, and then I have an excuse to talk. And so therefore, in my greater pursuit of speaking more and practicing more, then this becomes a tool and then they become a tax deduction, which is also a fun idea to say, hey, this is a business expense. And then there are other things saying like, oh, with my audience, if I have an audience, I can do things like pack giveaways or reverse auctions or explore different business models. But at the end of the day, I'm not buying these packs because I need an excuse to record videos. I'm not buying them because I really want to invest in the future and I'm speculating. I'm not really doing it because I want to reward you guys. I feel like there are many, many other creators out there who will give away stuff for your attention. But I'm going to tell you, this is a game. Part of the game is buying packs, opening them, and being disappointed and yes, surprised in what you get in them, and then owning them and playing with them and mixing them up and seeing what kind of different weird decks that you can build, because intrinsic to the experience is that you have to put skin in the game and play. I desperately really want to play. And yeah, I know, I still don't know how to play. I still haven't watched a video on how to participate. I know that things like Tabletop Simulator exist where you can play the game, and I am a member of the Discord. But however, right now, this moment in time, I have to make financial decisions on acquiring cards with imperfect and incomplete information, and just blind faith that buying these cards will help me have fun. Whether or not you think it's a big investment or a big purchase to have fun, I point you to my computer, I point you to my bicycle, I point you to my running shoes. I have a lot of things that I buy in the hopes of having fun, and they're not huge things. And I'm lucky that I have the wherewithal and the budget to buy some small, shiny pieces of cardboard for fun and talk about it. So, thank you so much for listening to my journey about complaining about the Riot Games merch store, and then failing to buy cards from the European merch store, and then asking for favors from my colleagues in China, and then finally, out of the blue, somebody asks, hey, do you want to split a case? I guess the moral of the story is talk about what you want, be authentic, be a little vulnerable, don't give up at the first sign of resistance, and who knows, maybe the opportunity you've been looking for drops into your lap anyway. I'll see you next time.